Next panel up is some of the top SaaS VCs talking about how to grow 20% month over month. And the moderator for this panel is Jason Lemkin, who started SaaSter.com, which is one of the leading resources for anything SaaS. So if you're interested in that, you should also come to the SaaSter Annual in February, and I'll let him take it from here.
So I think we have an all-star panel here for two reasons. We've got three of the best SaaS VCs in the industry. We're going to talk about it. And not only do we have three of the best, we have three that, having been both a founder and an investor, that I would actually take money from, and in one case have, which is a minority of VCs. So I think we've got industry luminaries and folks that I would back and believe in and take money from. So I think it'll be pretty interesting. And I want to talk about a couple things. One, what's happening in the tool space and in sales solutions and marketing solutions, because we're here, and also what's happening in the market in general, because these are just pretty interesting times. And so let me just introduce the folks briefly to the left, and then feel free to add in. Jason, to my left, Jason Green, who is also my investor. I did not realize he's backed 7 unicorns so far in his career, so that's pretty good, right?
I've been around a long time.
You've been around, yes. In less than 32 months, he's backed 7 unicorns. But Jason, as you know, or as you may know, co-founded Emergence, and so as early as you can be doubling down and just being focused on recurring revenue and SaaS businesses. That's sort of what Emergence was created to do, and so. A lot of neat companies, basically all SaaS, all B2B, and so Jason's salt of the earth. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Tomasz has a blog maybe one or two of you have read. I'm really grateful to him, as I often say, because he does the real work. Like every morning at like 4 in the morning, he'll read like the Atlassian F1 for 7 hours and post all the data. And then I could just do like one tweet about it. So it takes me 60 seconds. And he's been up since 4 in the morning doing the real work. So in addition to being a great investor at Redpoint, he's contributed an enormous amount to the community. So it's fun to have him here. And then Stacey has been investing at Scale. And Scale is one of the leading well, I guess all these letters change. A, B, C, F, 1, 2, 3. Leading Series 2 and 3.
Early in revenue.
VC. What's that?
Early in revenue.
Early in revenue. And Stacey's done an A-plus list of companies. She did HubSpot very early, I think, right? That's a good one.
2009.
Right? 2009. We'll talk about some of our other investments as well. And I think it's a rock star panel we've got here. And so I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. And I will mix it up, but first what I thought would be fun would be to hear from each of our folks about one sort of sales or sales-ish or revenue tool investment they've done in the last 24-ish months, or the firm has done, and why. And in many cases, a lot of these tools or solutions or products were too niche-y or too small, or things have changed, and we're into this different world. We're all here, right? And we were just talking about the panel. I think Jason was saying there's like, or maybe it was Stacey, there's like 3 times more people than were expected here, and everything's bigger, right? So I want to learn what's different from an investing perspective, and then let's time it into what's sort of, or tie that into what's in the market. So Jason, tell us an investment you've made recently and why you made it.
Sure. So as you guys can probably tell from downstairs, there's a lot of companies in the sales acceleration space, which is great for this conference, but it's a little confusing, both as a customer sometimes and certainly as an investor. Try and figure out which are the ones that make sense to bet on. It's even harder, actually, as an investor, because not only do we have to find a great product that can get value for customers, but we have to invest in something that has sustaining value that you can build a real business around.
Yeah.
And I guess our philosophy at Emergence, having looked at a lot of companies in the space, is that you've got to be a platform of record, not just a solution on top of another platform of record. So we've looked at a lot of companies that are building on top of Salesforce, for instance, to make it easier to slice and dice the data there or get better access in terms of inputting the information or getting information out. I think the problem with that fundamentally is that you're not really owning your own destiny. So Salesforce can build something on top of that probably in a few months, or certainly in a few, sometimes even fewer than that, weeks. And then all of a sudden, you don't have a sustaining business model. So for us, there were 2 companies we've invested in recently. One, SalesLoft, which is downstairs, and I'll let those guys talk about the company themselves since they're here. Another one, which isn't, is called SteelBrick. And what's interesting about both of these companies, they're both kind of on sitting on the sides of CRM. One is at the front end of the process, managing all your prospects, which become opportunities and get into your CRM system. And the other one is at the end of the process once you've actually closed a deal. So how do you manage the quoting and invoicing process at the end of the sales process?